Okay, let's get into it. We're doing a deep dive today on an article by Donna Franklin West. It's called, Do You Know the Difference? Tactical versus Strategic Planning.
Right. And it's such a fundamental topic, isn't it? Planning.
Absolutely. Look, planning is just crucial. If you're launching a startup, running a small business, even just managing a team project, you need a plan.
But, and this is what the article really highlights, not all planning is the same thing.
Exactly. You might be doing one kind when actually another approach could work much better for what you need, right now.
It's easy to just default to what feels familiar.
So our goal here is to really unpack that difference. What actually is strategic planning and what is tactical planning?
And the article gets specific about who really benefits from tactical planning.
Yeah, who is it best suited for? And maybe who isn't it the top priority for?
And crucially, why does getting this distinction right actually matter? How does it help you move from just, thinking about things to actually making progress?
Making tangible progress, yeah. Because it's easy to get stuck just planning to plan.
It really is. And people often mix these two up, strategic and tactical, even though they serve really different functions. The article lays it out quite well, I think.
It does. So that's what we'll do. We'll break down the core definitions, talk about the timelines involved, what each one focuses on.
And then we'll spend a good bit of time on tactical planning itself.
Right. What does it actually look like in practice? What are these sort of concrete benefits? The article mentions clarity, agility, accountability, right. And how does it all tie back to the bigger picture?
And hopefully, listening to this, you can start to see where these ideas fit into your own world, your business, maybe a project, maybe even personal goals.
Okay, perfect. Let's start right there with that basic split the article sets up. How does Donna Franklin West define strategic versus tactical?
Well, the way she frames it, strategic planning is like, it's your North Star. It's the long view, maybe years out.
Big picture.
Very big picture. Broad, focused on the vision, the mission, those overarching goals. It's answering the what and the why. Like, where do we ultimately want to go, and why is the important?
Okay, so destination, the ultimate purpose.
The dream.
That's it. Now, tactical planning, that's completely different in focus. It's about the journey right now. It's short term.
How short term are we talking?
Usually months, maybe up to a year, the article suggests. And it's detailed, very specific, and really action oriented. This is the how.
The how.
Yeah, the how. It lays out the exact steps, the specific actions you need to take, today, this week, this month, to actually move forward towards that bigger goal.
So I like the analogy. A strategic is maybe the map showing the whole country and your final destination city. While tactical is like the GPS giving you turn-by-turn directions for the next few blocks.
That's actually a really good way to put it, yeah. The article really emphasizes that, strategy sets the stage, but the tactical stuff, that's where the rubber meets the road. Okay, rubber meets the road. I like that. And speaking of that, the article argues pretty strongly that tactical planning isn't just like one choice among equals. It's especially powerful for certain kinds of work, certain roles.
Definitely.
Who does the source say benefits most from really focusing on tactical planning?
It points very clearly to situations where you need agility, where you need results pretty fast. Small businesses, for example.
Okay.
They often have to react quickly, right? Market shifts, new opportunities, testing ideas. They need to show progress, often with, pretty limited resources. Tactical planning gives them that roadmap for the immediate future.
That makes total sense. A small shop owner needs to know, what specific marketing things to do next week, not just have a vague 10-year brand concept.
Exactly. Startups are another key group mentioned. They're basically in a sprint mode, aren't they?
Constantly, yeah.
They have to hit very specific near-term milestones. They have to validate their business model, maybe get funding, build some momentum. A tactical plan is that step-by-step guide for those really critical early stages.
So if you're trying to get something new off the ground, maybe prove it works now, tactical sounds like it's absolutely essential.
Oh, absolutely. And project managers, too. I mean, their entire job is basically tactical execution, right?
Sure.
Achieving a defined result within a specific time, specific budget. Tactical plans are, their bread and butter. Breaking the whole thing down into tasks, deadlines, who's responsible.
Right.
And really, any team inside a bigger company can use tactical planning. It helps them translate their piece of the overall strategy into stuff they can actually do and measure.
Okay, so for you listening, if you're leading a team, running a project, if you've got your own small business, or you're launching something new, the article seems to say this here and now Action-focused tactical planning is probably super relevant for you. But there's a flip side. It's not like everyone needs to be buried in tactical details all the time.
No.
Who might not have tactical planning as their main focus, according to the source?
Yeah, the article's balanced there. It acknowledges that while executing tactically is vital, it's not the primary job at every single level. Think about long-term visionaries.
The big thinkers.
Right. The people whose main role is mapping out the direction 5, 10, even 15 years down the line. They're probably spending less time in the tactical weeds and more on that high-level strategic thinking.
Okay, so charting the course way out on the horizon. Makes sense.
Also, think about organizations in really stable, mature industries. Maybe where change happens very slowly, very predictably.
Less need for constant adjustment.
Exactly. They might lean more heavily on that long-term strategic plan without needing quite so many rapid short-term tactical shifts. And, typically your C-suite executives, they're focused on the overall strategic direction for the whole company.
Right. They set the vision.
They set the vision, and they often delegate the job of creating and managing the specific tactical plans down to their VPs, directors, team leads.
So kind of like steering a giant oil tanker across a calm sea. The captain's focused on the destination port, maybe major course changes, but not necessarily the tiny adjustments to the rudder minute by minute.
Yeah, that's handled further down the chain. That analogy works pretty well.
Okay, so let's talk payoff. What does focusing on this detailed short-term stuff actually get you? The article mentions several key benefits of good tactical planning.
Yes, it's very practical on this point. One huge benefit is just crystal clear clarity and focus.
Clarity.
A solid tactical plan means there's really no ambiguity. Who needs to do what? By when? You know exactly what your next steps are.
That sounds like it would cut down on a lot of wasted effort or confusion.
Oh, absolutely. And that clarity, it enables agility. That's another big one.
Agility. How so?
Well, when you have those specific steps mapped out, you can see where you are much more easily. You can spot roadblocks faster, and you can adjust your immediate actions much more quickly than if you were just working off some vague strategic goal. It lets you pivot. Maybe grab short-term opportunities that pop up.
Okay. There's that responsiveness that those small businesses and startups really need.
That's exactly it. Another critical benefit the article highlights is accountability.
Makes sense?
When tasks are specific, they're assigned to someone, they have a deadline, all part of the tactical plan. It just becomes much easier to track progress and to make sure everyone's actually, doing their part.
Yeah, it's much harder for things to slip through the cracks when there's a name and a date right next to it.
Precisely. And then finally, the article points out that tactical planning helps you use your resources more efficiently.
Resources like time, money, people.
Exactly. Because you have such a clear picture of what needs doing right now. In the near term, you can allocate those limited resources, your team's time, your budget, whatever tools you have, much more effectively to hit those immediate goals.
Okay.
Donna Franklin West actually calls it your go-to tool for making tangible progress quickly. She says it's practical, actionable, and gets results without the fluff.
Gets results without the fluff. I like that phrasing. It really lands. It sounds like tactical planning is way less about sort of abstract ideas and much more about actually making things happen.
Definitely. It's about execution.
And the article stresses, right, that this isn't just about short-term busy work. It does connect back to that bigger strategic picture.
Oh, that's a really critical point she makes. Yes. While tactical planning is all about the short-term how, achieving those immediate goals is what actually builds momentum towards the long-term strategic vision.
Okay.
The article really positions those tactical steps as the essential building blocks. They're the concrete actions that pave the road, essentially, for that strategic growth over the long haul.
So you definitely need the grand vision, the strategic map, that North Star you mentioned. But without the detailed, tactical turn-by-turn directions, you might never actually leave the driveway or make any real progress on the journey itself.
Exactly. The execution, the how, is absolutely essential if you ever want to realize the what and the why. It makes the strategy real.
Well, this has been a fantastic deep dive into tactical versus strategic planning, drawing straight from Donna Franklin West's article. I think we've really nailed down that core difference.
Yes, strategic. Long-term, the what and why. Tactical. Short-term, detailed, the how.
And we saw the article highlights tactical planning as being especially powerful when you need agility and quick wins. Think small businesses, startups, project managers, specific teams.
Right, but also recognizing it's not always the primary focus for everyone, like those high-level strategic thinkers or leaders in very stable environments.
And those benefits are pretty compelling. You get clarity, it boosts your agility, really enhances accountability, and helps you use resources better.
The article makes a strong case. Tactical planning is practical, it's actionable, and it's key for getting that short-term success that then fuels the bigger long-term strategic growth.
So here's something for you to think about, considering everything we've just unpacked. Think about your own goals right now. Are you mainly focused on that big, far-off vision that needs that strategic shaping?
Or are you more concerned with the immediate, taking concrete, actionable steps like right now, this week?
And based on those benefits, we discussed the clarity, agility, accountability, and those groups the article mentioned. Which type of planning feels like it's the most relevant for what you need to get done right now?
And maybe consider this. How might consciously focusing your energy on that specific type of planning, strategic or tactical, potentially change how you approach making progress?